Some long-awaited good news for theatre lovers this morning. A group of 6 West End venues say it's found a way to reopen from next month.
You'll know that theatres have been closed since March, with social distancing rules making it unviable and impossible to put on a show, really. Here's a look at some of the issues that they faced.
It's a very sad sight. I mean, this is Her Majesty's Theatre, where Phantom of the Opera opened and should be playing now.
Here's the new socially distanced seating plan. It's less than half their normal capacity.
You can't make a theatre work with a 30% full auditorium. It's just not possible.
This is a massive economic growth engine that brings millions, billions of pounds into this country every year.
We really got to use this opportunity to not only just to say that we want to get our sector open, but to demonstrate to the world how it can be open. It's in my view, I think we are now at the point of no return, really.
Well, the Lyric Theatre in London is preparing to host its first musical in 7 months.
Breakfast Tim Muffet is there for us this morning and can tell us more. Good morning, Tim.
Yeah, good morning to you. What a terrible time it has been for the theatre industry, as we've just been seeing. So it is really nice to be able to bring some good news from the stage of the Lyric Theatre in London's West End. Now, the last performance here took place back in March. It's been dark since then. It's quite weird to look around and seeing some of the refurbishment going on because, as we heard, musicals will be opening at 6 venues run by the NIMAX Theatre Group. Nika is in charge of that group and, well, great news. Explain to us, how is it going to work with social distancing and the like, and what are you going to be doing to your theatres to make this viable?
Well, first of all, what you're seeing here is all our seats covered in polythene. And what's now going to be happening is they're all coming out and we are reconfiguring the entire stalls to absolutely comply with social distancing back to front. So you'll love it, actually, ladies and gentlemen, because you're going to have more legroom. Hooray! So we're taking out some of the rows to make more space front to back, and then the computer will take out, when you book, a seat either side of you. So we have social distancing in all your seats, and then when you come in, you will, of course, be wearing face masks. You're going to be socially distancing your queues. There'll be hand sanitation. There will be a strict control all the way through with the one-way system of how you get around the theatre. And we feel very sure that we will be able to keep this venue safe for our audiences.
And what about the productions which are going to be reopening? Because obviously there's some productions which just don't work because they're too crowded, aren't they? What are you going to be able to do?
It's also expense. It's impossible to open a large show with social distancing. These shows are very, very expensive and you simply can't meet your weekly costs. So we have to do smaller shows, and we are so lucky to have a show like 6, which of course has 6 people on stage who can then be socially distanced as they need to be on stage or whatever else the producer's doing, and we have lots of space backstage for them. So we can't open the big shows, but we will be presenting a really fun programme entertainment, starting with ex-NHS Dr Adam Kay next door in the Apollo Theatre.
It's great news. Thanks ever so much indeed. Now, you mentioned 6, the musical, and yeah, the rule of 6, the timing's perfect, isn't it? Kenny Wax, you're the producer of that musical. How important is it that you are able to open here?
It's just a really important message, to be honest, for the whole industry and indeed for every member of the public who has missed live theatre since March, which was the last opportunity they had to come to see a show indoors.
And it's not just about the actors and the musicians, is it? It's about the technical staff, the bar staff.
That's right.
So many people have been affected.
Yeah, across our 2 productions of 6, because we have 6 opening at the Lyric on Shaftesbury Avenue. We also have 6 reopening the tour at the Lyric Theatre at the Lowry in Manchester. Across both of those shows, we have over 100 members of staff, and that's just those 2 shows. I have other shows. In fact, we're going to open The Play That Goes Wrong in another one of Nika's theatres in November, which is very exciting. So there are 290,000 members of the theatre and theatre workforce who have not been employed since March, and this is an opportunity to bring some good news and give some jobs back.
Have you had enough support from the government, do you think?
The furlough scheme was tremendous, really helpful, and we couldn't have got by without it, so we've managed to keep hold of many of our staff, many of my office staff, all of my office staff actually. But in the bigger picture, the biggest concern that we have, and Six is exceptional in the way that, it's, as Nika said, only 6 members on stage, it is one of the smaller shows. We're desperate for some news on a government-backed insurance scheme which will enable the bigger shows to open. That's one of the asks. And the second, really, is the crucial thing, which is the stage 5 of Oliver Dowden's 5-point plan, which is no social distancing. And that's the only way, really, those two things, that we're going to get all of the West End back open, which of course drives tourism, which drives the economy, which drives the West End. It's all related, it's all interconnected.
Kenny Wax, producer of Six, thank you so much. Nika as well, thank you for your thoughts. And it's great to bring some good news, but it is odd. You look out to the theatre, as you can see some of the refurbishment literally ongoing at the moment. It's great to think, though, that shortly, you know, live performance will be taking place on this stage and at 5 other venues as well in the West End. Some good news at last.
Thank you, Tim. It's nice, isn't it, to be... It's like we went in pubs for the first time
Lovely.
on breakfast. It's nice to be in somewhere you've not been for a while.